Well, thanks everybody for joining today. We did one of these last week and the week before that. We've had some good feedback. So we want to continue to educate everyone out there, let them know what we're thinking. Everything seemed to be so negative. So we want to kind of give you 10 things that we know that you can do, or at least you should be thinking about here during this time period. All right, number 2 is a great time to review your financial plan. And if you don't have a financial plan, you're a junk drawer investor, a lot of statements coming in, or you're just kind of winging it. Now is time to really go through the numbers and make sure that everything's going to work out for you. Right. So this is an example of someone that may have a financial plan. We certainly recommend, depending on where you're at in the stage of your investing career, if you're close to retirement, we're going to take a look at why it's so important to have what we call a crash mitigation strategy or a bucket strategy. And then if you're younger, making sure that you've got that emergency fund fully funded. We do a lot of work with airline pilots who, at the end of 2019, were feeling great. And now, thanks to the bailout, they should be okay at least through September, but may need to lean on that emergency fund, right? Things that you can do to make sure that your financial life is solid and that you have peace of mind with what you're doing based upon your age and what your goals are, is having the right plan in place. And if you're someone that just retired at the end of 2019, right, this could be a really, really bad situation if you just had all your money in, say, the S&P 500. And we'll kind of take a look at an example of that. But if you had all your money in the S&P 500, you stayed there through retirement, 2020 comes to fruition, you just lost 30% of your portfolio. And that could be really, really hard, if not impossible, to overcome. So having that plan in place is extremely important. Also, if you are in a distribution phase, you're in retirement taking money out, maybe it's time to take a look at, can you still take out the same amount of money? It may make sense to kind of dial back your distribution strategy. And so those are things that it's always important to review that financial plan. The reason I say that is, let's take a look at someone that retired in 1991. They had all their money in the S&P 500 and they left it in the S&P 500 through retirement. They wanted to take out $70,000 a year plus inflation moving forward. Well, the market did really well. Even though they were taking out distributions, right, their retirement income actually grew over that time period. And so this is what most people want, right? They want to accumulate wealth. They want to live off the interest. And this is kind of what everyone thinks. Well, if you're not sure how much risk is in your portfolio, you better hope that you retire in 1991, right? So that this thing can happen to you. Because what we don't know, right, is when you do retire. Let's take a look at the exact same situation, but someone retired in 2001. So they took out the same amount of money, they accumulated the same amount of wealth prior to retirement, they're investing in the same portfolio, the S&P 500. They wanted to take out $70,000 a year plus inflation moving forward. They ran out of money by 2007. This is almost an identical situation, if not worse, to what we're going through today. So if you don't have that bucket strategy in place, you don't have that financial plan, you haven't reviewed it to make sure that you continue to take out the same amount of distributions, we can kind of experience this. And that's not to create fear for you. That's to say a financial plan is extremely important. Make sure you know where you're at. Make sure you understand how your actions, could kind of impact your monthly spend in retirement. All right, so let's take a look at some portfolios that we have and kind of different, risk mitigation strategies. All right, the conservative portfolio last year, 2019, was up 10.5%. So far in the last 6 months, from September 26th to March 26th, down about 5%. So some people that we work with, they're really, really conservative. They don't want the big market fluctuations. And what we've seen are some of the higher end with the 2019 year, and some of the lower end here with the start to 2020. And this portfolio, the target return that we're trying to get for clients is about 3 to 5%. But in order to get that, you have to stay invested. If you want that 10.5% return every year, you've got to be willing to take the minus 5% return in 2020, because you average those out and you're still positive, right? So the goal of understanding how much risk is in your portfolio is creating a portfolio for you that you can stay invested. Look at the opposite end of the spectrum, right? The aggressive portfolio was up almost 23% in 2019, and this year it's down about 23%. So net, you've actually kind of come out about even through that time period. But in order to get the targeted return in this portfolio, which we trying to target about 9% return, you've got to be willing to take the ups and the downs. Long term, the portfolio should get the return that you should expect. If you don't know how much risk is in your portfolio, it's much harder to stay invested. And if you don't have the appropriate bucket strategy or investment strategy for you, it can have grave consequences on your retirement or your financial goals.